What's up, my friends? It's Russo, and I've got 4 plays for you for the NBA slate today on January 14th. We have 7 games for tonight's slate, and we already put out some plays over at the Backdoor Fantasy Sports channel, as well as Jordy has some plays up. So go check out his channel, go check out the Backdoor Fantasy Sports channel, and let's have some fun with tonight's slate. I've got 4 plays that I'm really excited about. Had a little bit more time to dive even deeper into tonight's slate. We've got some injuries that I think are going to help us cash some of these plays that I pulled up here. These are the plays that I'm excited about. I'll break it down for you right now. We've got Zach Lavine. Over 32.5 points rebounds is what was popping off to me on the board. And then I also like Russell Wilson over 13 rebounds and assists. Aaron Wiggins over 12.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then Trey Murphy, the third, over 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I know a bunch of you have already come over and showed Jordy and I some love on our solo channels from the main channel, Backdoor Fantasy Sports. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, do me a favor, like the video, and drop me a comment if you have any questions about anything. I'll help you break into some plays that you're seeing on the board that you want to check out. So let's just start breaking it down. Zach Lavine, he's been playing great. All of these over-unders for the Bulls, I know I'm like a broken record. I say this every single time, but these over-unders are always insane with the Bulls, anyone they play this year. It's been very exciting. 241.5 over-under for this game. Bulls favored by 1.5, playing in Chicago. So I'm excited to get a piece of this here. We also have Kobe White, who is a game time decision, if I'm not mistaken. Kobe White game time decision, and we may get Ayo Dosunmu back tonight, but he's also listed as a game time decision. So, I mean, regardless of whether they play or not, I like Zach Lavine to continue this scoring that he's been just dominant with lately. If we take a look at this PRA, he's cleared this in 5 straight games. And dude's just been balling. 31 points is his lowest outing in this 5-game stretch, but just coming off this game against Sacramento, relatively tough matchup. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 36 points. So if we do end up not having Kobe White or no return, you know, Ayo Dosunmu is not really going to like affect the scoring as much. Kobe White, everything. PRA is you know, there'll be some vacated statistics for Zach Lavine to stack up. Over this 5-game stretch, he's averaging 36.2 minutes per game, just 0.6 fouls, just playing such a clean game right now. 58% from the field on 22.2 attempts per game. It's been awesome to see. 48% from beyond the arc on 6.6 attempts per game, 3.2 made threes per game over this 5-game stretch, 9.6 rebound chances, and 7.8 potential assists. We've got a note from Outlier here. Let's take a look. Okay, so on top of the 5 straight, he's also cleared this, says Zach Lavine has exceeded 37.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 4 out of his last 5 games versus bottom 10 defenses for points allowed. He's averaging 40.6 points, rebounds, and assists over that stretch against bottom 10 defenses for points allowed. We know that this is super soft, 25th in points allowed, so looking solid. Let's get into the matchup just a little bit more here. All right, let's see. So we'll go specifically to the shooting guard position. It's a little bit tougher for points, the direct matchup for points. 4th in points allowed to shooting guards, super soft with rebounds and assists. 23rd for rebounds allowed, 24th in assists allowed. Let's take a look at what this PRA has, how he's been doing in the head-to-head. So he did just miss this last time they matched up. That was earlier this year, beginning of the year, but it seems like they've cleaned things up a little bit. He still went for 35, so one more 3 would have cashed that for us, but I'm not going to let that scare me off this play. I'm feeling really good about it because he's absolutely been in rhythm. We saw 5 straight, and then he's also cashed this 6 out of his last 10 games. This 5-game run he's been on has been awesome, though. So yeah, you could take the points alone if you prefer. I'm just going to go ahead and run the full PRA because we got this game back here against the Spurs on January 6th. We went for 10 rebounds and 8 assists in addition to the 35 points. We've got this most recent game against Sacramento, like we talked about, 36 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. So with this rebounds and assist matchup so soft across the board, but even to shooting guards, I want to be attached to those rebounds and assists. Let's take a look at daily grind. So Daily Grind likes his points assists the best. They have that at a 52.65% odds to hit the over, minus 130. And we're getting it at 31.5 on Prize Picks, and we can see that some of that points assist is bumped up to 32.5 on more platforms than not. So let's see the full PRA. They're not feeling the full PRA, so go with your gut. Maybe you like, just his rebounds at 4.5 does look good. They've got that favored to go over at 50.81% odds to hit the over. I'm going to go the full PRA, but you guys take what you want. I'm just here to show you what I'm getting into. They don't like his points alone either at 28. I think that, I think he's going to go over 28 points, but they are bumping that line up, a little bit higher towards, it's not like he's been going for 40-point games lately. It's been like in the low to mid 30s. So I get a little bit of hesitation on points alone. So I'm going full PRA at 37.5. Even though they do have that favor to go under, it's not showing me the line for the under, but the over. Oh wait, it's because it's still on overs. Let me go all here and let me see if I can get you guys an exact percentage here, just to be as accurate as possible. Refresh that. Okay, so yeah, they have that favored to go under at a 52.09% odds to hit the under. So maybe this isn't the play for you. I'm taking it though. I'm gonna go ahead and run it. All right, let's keep moving. Russell Westbrook. I love this play. The dude has been balling lately. He's a great fit. Denver, Jokic specifically wanted to go get him. They went and got him. He didn't have a terrible start with the Nuggets, but he's been absolutely finding his role, and it's been great. It's good to see him playing good ball again. We've got some injuries that have led to game time decisions. Aaron Gordon, another game time decision, dealing with a calf. Nikola Jokic has some sort of illness. He's a game time decision, but I looked it up. He's listed as probable. He's officially listed as probable for tonight. Jamal Murray, game time decision. If Jokic was out, that's what would make me hesitate a little bit on the rebounds and assists, because you don't want Jokic out, Jamal Murray out. You don't want all of their best scorers out, and then you're taking an assist prop, because you need guys that are going to be competent to be able to score. But if we look at the point guard matchup here, 18th in rebounds allowed, 12th in assists allowed to point guards specifically, and this has just been a wagon. Even in games, like he's been scoring too. I'll show you guys the full PRA if you want to take that, because we are going to have some scorers out, but I'm just going to roll the rebounds and assists because he's been so consistent. But the PRA doesn't look too bad. 4 straight games with 19 points or more. But even in games where he hasn't been hitting the points, he's been still getting it done with rebounding and assisting the ball. So I just love this rebounds and assists at 13 flat, especially with a middle of the road matchup. But we know that Jokic is listed as probable now. So let's zoom out a little bit more. So I feel like that's going to really help with the. Look at that. What is that? That's 9 straight games clearing that 13. Well, that's at 12.5. So one was a push on here. But as of late, against Brooklyn, he went for 10 assists, 11 rebounds, and then 10 rebounds, 7 assists. This is just really popping off to me. Even the one game he missed over this last 10-game stretch, he was at 11. So, relatively close to still hitting it. During this 10-game stretch, he's averaging 31.9 minutes per game. So getting plenty of minutes, 3.2 fouls, not getting in foul trouble. Just that one game against San Antonio, he had 5 fouls, and then back here against Detroit, he had 4. But other than that, he's getting his 3 fouls pretty consistently, and he's not letting himself get into trouble where he's losing minutes. Over this 10-game stretch, 11.8 rebound chances per game and 11.8 potential assists a game. Just like it doesn't get much more consistent than that. So I'm loving this play. If we take a look at the head-to-head, it doesn't look as good, obviously, but a lot of this is with old teams, so let's see. Well, a couple of them are with Denver. So these last 3 are with Denver. And then he definitely, but we talked about the slower start to the season. The most recent was just a few days ago. He went for 17 RA, on, what was that? The 12th. So yeah, literally 2 days ago. So I'm loving this play. I'm going to be rolling it for more. Let's see what Daily Grind thinks. They don't like the rebounds and assists. I don't know if it's maybe because other platforms have this at 12.5 and Prize Picks has it up at 13. But I do like the policy that Prize Picks has if it does push. They just lower your slip down to one less than what you're making instead of refunding the whole slip, which I prefer. I'd rather you just lower my slip a little bit. But yeah, so it's a little bit half point higher. The optimizer isn't really liking that. So they have that favored to go under, 52.7% odds to hit the under -130. So go with your gut. They like the rebounds alone at 5.5. I think that looks good too. If you're not comfortable with the rebounds and assists, just go rebounds at 5.5. 51.65% odds to hit the over, -124. They also like his points rebounds. I really do think that looks good too, 19.5. I'm still sticking with the most consistent play over the last 10 game stretch with the rebounds and assists, but the points rebounds do look good to me as well. 51.41% odds to hit the over, -124. They don't like the points assists. It seems like maybe the optimizer is considering the injuries and just like they want to make sure they're not super confident that the players that have a chance to miss won't affect his ability to cash those assists that we know he's going to try to dish out. They do like his points alone at 14. He has been, we just said 4 straight games, 19 points or more. So whatever you want to take, you have plenty of options here. If you even want to take Westbrook, you don't have to take all my plays. So yeah, rebounds and assists are what I'm taking though. All right, let's keep it rolling. Aaron Wiggins. I love this play. If you take a look here, this has just been really consistent, and this is a very low line at 12.5. Coming off that last game against Washington, absolute blowout. So, he got a spike in minutes, I guarantee it. Went for 23 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. But this dude is good. They're so stacked that he doesn't get like a ton of run, but he's solid. Yeah, he played 30.5 minutes in that game. So yeah, we're going to zoom in just a little bit. We're going to go to the last 5 games. So yeah, cashed it in 5 games straight. And averaging 23.7 minutes per game. And I know we've got this big game here against Washington where it's going to boost his averages a little bit, going for the full 30 minutes. But other than that, he's knocking on the door at 20 minutes per game regardless, and he's getting this done. So I wanted the full assists attached in there as well, because 12.5, it's not like he doesn't assist the ball. He's got an assist in every game over this 5-game stretch, and the last game he had the 4 assists. So let's look specifically at the matchup against shooting guards. A little bit tougher. 7th in points allowed, 7th and 6th in rebounds allowed, and then 19th in assists allowed. So the soft spot is still there for the assists. 12.5 PRA. Let's take a look at this over/under actually. I'm kind of curious. So we talked about Russ. I'll tell you about that real quick. 234.5 point over under. Nuggets favored by 3.5 playing in Dallas. No Luka tonight. We talked about that. And then let's see this other game here. Thunder, first game of the night. 217.5 point over under. Thunder favored by 13. So they're expecting a blowout playing in Philly. If we do see a blowout, guess who gets more minutes? Probably Aaron Wiggins. So I love that. That doesn't concern me when I'm taking a bench player like this. So yeah, everything is looking good here. 8.6 rebound chances per game over this 5-game stretch, 4.2 potential assists, 73% from the field, not shooting a ton, 8 attempts per game, but 5.8 made buckets on average over this stretch here, and 56% from beyond the arc, averaging 3.6 three-pointers attempted and cashing 2 of those a game. 89% from the free throw line, not getting there often, but 1.6 made free throws per game. But yeah, this is a low line, so that actually does make a difference. 2 more points could decide this. So I'm feeling great about this play, especially with the potential blowout. So let's go to the optimizer. They like his points rebounds the best at 11.5, but I'm going to take the full PRA because it's only 1 point higher at 12.5. But if you prefer, take the points rebounds. 51.9% odds to hit the over, -127. The full PRA is a 50.98% odds to hit the over, -122. And like we said, his last game, what did we say, 4 assists? Yeah, so I'll take that 1 point bump and just go to the full PRA. So yeah, last play to wrap this up, Trey Murphy. This might be my favorite play because we've got some implications here with key injuries. Brandon Ingram is out, small forward position. Herbert Jones out, small forward position. And then we've got Trey Murphy who plays small forward. So could see pretty consistent minutes. If we look at this 10-game stretch, he's hit this 7 out of 10 games. and knocked on the door in the 3 that he missed. 27, 28, 26. We just need him to get 29. So those are the 3 he missed. Other than that, like a 70% hit rate over the last 10 is solid. We've got a super soft matchup here against Chicago, which is part of the reason why their over-unders are so high all the time, is because Chicago is capable of putting up a ton of points, but they're really soft on defense. Overall as a team, 29th in points allowed, 29th in rebounds allowed, 29th in assists allowed. Let's look at specifically small forwards. It's definitely the opposite of a soft spot. They're stronger against small forwards, 4th in points allowed, 6th in rebounds allowed, and 17th in assists allowed. So I'm still going to run it. I feel comfortable with it. Let's take a look at the head-to-head. Okay, so he only matched up once, and that was last year. He played 36.9 minutes, still went for 10 rebounds and 2 assists, but only 9 points. So went for 21. Also, let's take a look here. Let's take, this is why I love Outlier. Let's take Brandon Ingram and Herbert Jones out of the equation. And look at the head-to-head. So they were available in that game. So we don't have any data on a head-to-head where they weren't in the game. So I think that could help us get over the line here, because he still went for 21 in a relatively bad shooting performance. Let's dive in a little bit more. Field goal attempts. Yeah, he shot really bad. 11 attempts, cashed 3. So he shot 27% from the field. He still, really? All three of his shots that went in were 3-pointers. So 9 attempts, all of his shots were 3-pointers in that game. So the likelihood of that happening again, I don't think that's going to be happening. Actually, I do want to look. Let's go off the head-to-head. Let's look at these last 5. Look a little bit closer. So yeah, 10 3-pointer attempts a game, shooting 40% right now, averaging 4 made threes per game, and then 17.8 attempts from the field, shooting 45%. So yeah, I mean, I love this play. I'm all over it. Let's take a look at daily grind. Well, their favorite over is the first quarter points at 5.5. I'm just not really much of a partial game type of player. It just gives me anxiety. And I know that, like, I'm not saying that it's bad to take partial game props, but I just don't like limiting my opportunities. Some of them are super juiced. Jordy cashes some of those first half props quite a bit, but that's just not as much my style. They don't like his rebounds at 5. They're not liking a lot of his. They like his rebounds and assists at 8 to go over, probably because he cashed it in that last head-to-head. 50.38% odds to hit the over, -119. They like his points rebounds just slightly, 25.5. They like that to go over. They have a 50.17% odds to hit the over. And is this, yeah, it's not, okay, so it's only showing me the odds of the over hitting. It's not showing the PRA as an under. So I guess it's not recommending the under, but it's showing that the PRA, yeah, it's at a 49.26% odds to not hit the over. So they don't think it's going to hit. So that would be what, 50.74% odds to hit the under. So go with your gut. I feel very comfortable with it. I'll just show you that one more time. This last 10 stretch. Yeah, it looks good to me. I'm comfortable with it, especially with 2 key players at his position out tonight. He should get plenty of minutes. If we look at the minutes, he's already averaging 34.9, and he had almost 40 in that last game against Boston. And up against Boston, yeah, he went for 40 PRA. So I'm loving it. I'm absolutely going to be locking this in. But yeah, that covers all the plays. So yeah, I forget to mention it, but if you guys want to check out Daily Grind, this is the DFS optimizer. If you use code BACKDOOR, they're going to give you 25% off of this app for as long as you want to lock it in. You can lock it in for up to a year if you want. And I could take Trey Murphy out of the search, and it'll just show me for the NBA slate everything that they like to go under or over. And it gives you, I mean, they're pretty heavy on unders this time of day because a lot of times there's been so many overs taken since they're more popular. So everyone takes a bunch of overs, these platforms, they bump up the lines to try to hedge their bets. So they bump the lines up, trying to encourage people to take unders. So if, you know, it's just leveraging. It's pretty common. But yeah, if you guys want to try this app out, it's really sweet. You can cover all these different types of sports, but use code BACKDOOR. All the information's down below. They'll give you 25% off of your first purchase, however long that is. And if you want to try Outlier, I love this app. You can really dial into the details. They cover matchups, injury reports, and they give you insights about the players, which is really sweet. Let's see if Trey actually has an insight for us. Looks like they do. So real quick before we get out of here, Trey Murphy has exceeded 28.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 5 of his last 6 games on the road. So playing good on the road. He's averaging 34.2 points, rebounds, and assists on the road, 83% hit rate over the last 6 games. So a little extra note there. But if you guys want to try out Outlier, you can try it for free. All you have to do is sign up through the link below for Outlier, and they will hook you up with a week. You don't have to put in a code. Just sign up through that link, and you'll get a week to try it out, see how you like it. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into my show. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Don't forget to like the video on your way out and drop me a comment if you have any questions, okay? That's going to do it. Enjoy tonight's slate. Good luck, and I'll catch you in the next one.